Hello, friends. Today I am going to tell you a horror story based on a real-life incident. This story is about a brilliant student whose life was completely destroyed after one small mistake, a mistake that invited something inhuman into her world. Even today, no one can fully explain what she experienced. So let's begin. This story begins in a village called Malwa in Uttar Pradesh, a place known for its educated people and simple life. Among them lived a girl named Ritu. She was intelligent, hardworking, and her dreams were bigger than the village she grew up in. Her parents believed she would achieve something great, and she did. Ritu got admission into Delhi University South Campus, where she pursued mathematics honors. She wasn't just an average student, she was exceptional. She even cleared the entrance exams for higher studies at a prestigious institute, securing a bright future ahead. During her final semester, Ritu and her 6 close friends decided to stay together near Dala Kwan in Delhi. It was supposed to be the best time of their lives, their last few months together before everyone moved on. One evening, they went for a walk in Satyanarayana Park. The park was unusually quiet that day. As they walked under a large peepal tree, one of her friends, Amit, suddenly noticed a box lying on the ground. It was a box of sweets. Fresh, clean, and strangely untouched. But something about it felt wrong. On top of the box were 3 thick lines of vermilion, like it had been used in some ritual. Ritu immediately felt uneasy. She warned everyone not to touch it. She told them that in villages, such things are often used in rituals, sometimes to bind spirits or offer food to something unseen. But her friends laughed. Amit mocked her, calling it superstition. And before she could stop him, he opened the box. Inside were perfectly round rascalas. Without thinking twice, Amit picked one and forced it into Ritu's mouth. She tried to resist, but it was too late. One by one, everyone ate the sweets. Even their professor later joined them and ate one. That night, nothing happened. But something had already begun. 2 weeks later, their professor met with a terrible car accident near Dala Kwan. Before he died, he said something that shocked everyone. He claimed that 2 girls suddenly appeared in front of his car, standing in the middle of the road, not moving, not reacting. And just before his last breath, he whispered, "They weren't blinking." After that day, things started changing. Ritu began to feel a strange presence around her. Every evening, she would see 2 girls standing near her house. They never spoke. They never moved. They just stood there, watching. At first, she thought it was her imagination. But one night, she gathered courage and looked directly at them. And what she saw froze her soul. Their faces looked incomplete, almost melted. Their eyes were hollow, and their stomachs unnaturally swollen, as if something was growing inside them, even after death. Ritu screamed. But the horror didn't stop there. A few days later, her friend Ankur started behaving strangely in class. He stood up suddenly, began tearing pages from his notebook, and started muttering something no one could understand. Then he did something horrifying. He stuffed those torn papers into his mouth and started eating them. Everyone was shocked. But when he looked at Ritu, he smiled. And in a voice that didn't belong to him, a voice that sounded like multiple girls speaking together, he said, "You ate it, didn't you?" Ankur died that same night. Doctors said it was a medical condition. But no one believed it. After that, fear spread among the group. But the worst was yet to come. Their friend Jayanti had recently given birth to a baby boy. Everything was normal for one day. Then suddenly, she started screaming in the hospital. She kept pointing at a corner of the room, saying, "They are here, they are hungry." Ritu rushed to see her, but she couldn't see anything. Jayanti cried and said, "They said they will eat him, like we ate theirs." The next morning, the baby was found dead. No marks, no explanation. That same night, Jayanti ended her life. After this, Ritu completely broke. She couldn't sleep. She couldn't think. Because every time she closed her eyes, she saw Jayanti standing with those two girls, blaming her, accusing her. Soon, Ritu herself started showing signs of possession. She began speaking in a different language, abusing her own family. Her body twisted unnaturally. And sometimes, she laughed in voices that didn't belong to one person, but many. Her family took her back to the village. A priest agreed to help. But before he could perform the ritual, he died in a mysterious accident. Witnesses later claimed they saw two girls sitting behind him on the bike. That's when the truth came out. The two girls were from a nearby PG in Delhi. Both were pregnant. Both were abandoned. And both had taken their lives under that same peepal tree. A tantric had performed a ritual to bind their spirits there, using sweets as an offering to keep them trapped. But when Ritu and her friends ate those sweets, they broke the binding. They didn't just disturb the spirits. They fed them. Finally, with no other option, Ritu was taken to Mehendipwa Balaji. During the journey, she screamed, cried, and even tried to harm herself. At the temple, her condition became worse. She laughed uncontrollably, pointed at strangers, and said they were next. During the final exorcism, she screamed one last sentence. "We are 3 now." And then, everything went silent. Ritu survived. But she was never the same again. She lost years of her life. Lost her dreams. Today, she lives a quiet life, working a government job. But even now, she avoids peepal trees. She never eats anything from unknown places. Because she knows. Some mistakes don't just cost you your future. They invite something that never truly leaves. And sometimes, late at night, she wakes up suddenly because she hears breathing in her room. Not 1, not 2, but 3. Thanks for listening to this story. If you enjoy real-life horror stories like this, don't forget to subscribe. And if you have experienced something strange or paranormal in real life, you can share your story with us. Maybe your story will appear in the next video. Email us at nightmareedgesuvash@gmail.com.